Kevlov, he's going to look at her and say, "Sorry, babe, nothing personal." And then he's going to pull out his Rage Essence vial.
Yes! Greetings, mortals, and welcome to another episode of the Tabletop Sandbox podcast. This is episode 3 of Canticle of the Crimson Wake, and we are getting into some spicy stuff. A quick recap, our group joined and did a job for the Lampblacks, led by Bazo Baz, where they picked up a shipment of drugs and brought it back to him in Crowsfoot, but in order to create a distraction to lure the Red Sashes away from the drug shipment, they set fire to one of their drug dens. And so the crew has cemented themselves as enemies, and they are now at war with the Red Sashes. And so they decided to end this war as quickly as possible and do another job for Bazo. This job being to smuggle some of his men somewhere dangerous. So, we set up the beginning of our score last week, but one detail that we missed is that you guys need to pick loadouts. But let me give you a quick description of this job and all the details that I've come up with, and then you can decide what you're going to do. You rented a cargo boat that's slightly bigger than, say, a passenger gondola, but it is small enough to navigate the canals of Duskwall. You are going to take this boat carrying 4 large crates, each containing 2 Lampblack cutters, who are kind of this heavily armed kill squad. And you are delivering these 4 boxes to the canal side entrance of the warehouse that resides below the Precious Palace in Silkshore. You are to get the Lampblacks into the warehouse and up to the main floor. That is your goal. Get them in and get them up to the main floor, because the lowest floor where they don't do any regular business, that's a kind of a warehouse. They keep their supplies and probably some illicit goods. But you are to get them, you're using the warehouse as an entrance, getting past any guards or security or locked doors, and you are getting this squad of Lampblack cutters into the main floor. And then you guys are being asked to function as a getaway vehicle. The Precious Palace is a high-end pleasure house catering to Eruvians with traditional Eruvian drink, drugs, music, and whores. Frequented often by Red Sashes and Eruvian nobility. And some of the Red Sashes are Eruvian nobility. Eruvia is a very kind of wealthy, I don't know if they're continents or just islands, but it's like one of the Shattered Isles. But the Eruvians, as a refresher, they are inspired by like Egypt, India, Persia, and so they tend to have dark skin and dark hair, and they prefer, I'm imagining, scimitars of one kind or another. These curved swords that have tassels on the pommels, and they wear typically a red sash from one shoulder to the opposite hip. I'll kind of set the scene. At the edge of Crowsfoot, looking west across the Dosk River, you see the lights of Silkshore in the distance, and these 8 men, who are led by a man named Crick Bellwether, who is a compact Tycherosi man, with his hair shaved down to stubble, revealing small, dark horns that protrude from his skull, kind of Darth Maul style. And he tucks away his blades and a sawed-off shotgun, and kind of gives you guys a nod and then climbs in after the rest of his men. You have these 4 kind of 4x4x6 crates that two men are jammed into each of them, and they are really kind of cramped up tight. So they waited till the last minute before you cross the Dosk River to get in here. And then you close up those crates and push off across the river. And you are looking for the Precious Palace. You'll be going into a section of Silkshore known as the Ease. It's the northern section of Silkshore, and it is more easily navigated by gondola than by coach, which is why you're taking one. And there are dozens of entryways into the canals, and they're all flanked by shops and brothels advertising their wares with colored electric lights and flying banners, some of which you can see across the way. But as you are setting off, what loadouts did you choose?
We should probably keep it subtle, since this is kind of like a deception mission, you know? Mm-hmm. We don't want to all go in there heavy.
Yeah, I guess my worry is if things do go wrong, us not having enough arms to protect ourselves in the heart of this place.
Yeah.
Although we do have 4 cutters with us.
That's true.
Outside of myself. 8.
Mm-hmm.
8. Got
4
it.
boxes.
4 boxes
2
of
cutters.
cutters.
Cool.
I'm gonna go normal.
And honestly, thinking the delivery people, I think they would all be normal as well. I mean, they're shipping stuff to, like kind of like the main area. Mm-hmm. So I would assume that they're expected to be carrying something to protect like the cargo.
Yeah, they're probably...
If you want...
I guess going heavy gives only 1 more, so it's not that much different. I think we all just go normal.
Go normal.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Cool.
I will say though that you go to change into like not a red dress.
Okay.
Oh, same.
We all are wearing normal.
Yeah.
You're not wearing your habit.
No. Especially after they got the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a second. We just saw someone who was wearing a habit that looked exactly like yours. And wait a second. Someone who's wearing a red dress killed 2 of our men. That's so weird. At the same night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Completely
all right.
Unrelated.
So everyone going normal load?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Do the boxes count as a load?
If you're carrying them, you would be like overly laden.
Kind of boxes of
that's
people.
fair.
If you're like carrying a box, you'll need 2 of you to move a box. And if you want to fight, you would have to drop
and
the
then
box.
the other one just kind of like there.
You're not going to be able to move normally while carrying a box with 2 people inside it. No. We push off across the dark water of the Dosk River. The light of the bridge that crosses from Crowsfoot to Silkshore shines in the darkness, but you are just alone with the sounds of the water lapping at your boats as you pole yourself across. You see in the distance the ruins of a massive Leviathan hunter ship that is partially sunk in the river, and it's collected an attendant of flotilla of tiny watercraft all lashed together into a floating neighborhood. And this is known as Tangletown.
So sick.
And among the people of Crowsfoot, it is considered neutral ground. So if you ever needed to have a meeting with a rival gang, that would be the place.
What was it called?
Tangletown.
Tinkletown?
Yes, Tinkletown.
Tinkletown.
Tangletown. Yes, and it is...
Tango Town.
Yeah, no violence is allowed there. It's kind of that neutral ground.
Non-PvP zone.
Yeah.
But that's only something you see off in the distance, as you actually head north away from that, under the bridge, and eventually make your way into Silkshore. You begin drifting through the crowded canals where you see gondolas with passengers, people partying, people trying to move cargo just like yourselves, even a few blue coat patrols. Let me ask you this. You all have normal load, so it's conceivable that you could just be well-protected shippers, but everybody's playing an angle in Duskwall. So what do you do to avoid suspicion from the Blue Coat Canal Patrol that comes within a few boats of you? on the canals of Silk Shore.
I have an idea.
Okay.
One of the things that we can have in our load is like documents, and I wonder like what are the specifics of those documents, and can they be forged notes saying that we have a shipment and we're just passing through, like a
Very good idea.
like
That's
a
good,
hall
yeah.
pass.
Hall pass.
Documents. A collection of slim volumes on a variety of topics, including a registry of the nobility, city watch commanders, and other notable citizens. Blank pages, a vial of ink, a pen, a number of interesting maps. So, if you wanted
try
to
to make
have
some.
forged papers, I'm not saying they're stopping you yet. If you wanted to have forged papers, that is something that you could acquire in a flashback.
I would like to do so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that we flash back. Maybe it's when you're talking to Ellen about this shipment. She says, well, if you're going to be taking a shipment in through Silk Shore, you're gonna want documents just in case you get stopped by a blue coat patrol. She kind of looks at you at a loss and then says, well, I'm sure I could find some if you like. Whip some up for your ship,
Oh, Ellen,
for your boat.
you are simply the best. Thank you so much.
I'm going to say that is only going to cost you 1 stress for that flashback.
And I got rid of all my stress last time because I partied so hard. So I came into this session today planning on taking a lot of stress.
Cool.
Because I feel like it's going to use a lot of deception and it'll be okay. So I'll take the heavy load, but not the actual heavy load.
Yeah.
Load. But the stress load, I mean.
I also
Yeah.
only have 1 marked myself.
Okay.
So you are prepared if the blue coats do stop you. But what are you doing in an attempt to just look like business as normal? I mean, are you trying to look like business
Yeah.
as usual? Are you
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to avoid
Yeah.
the boats?
I'm rowing.
We're just
That's-
we're not looking
Sure.
like we're nervous or sketchy. We're just
We're minding
What-
our fucking business.
what-
yeah, running our own business.
This sounds like we can do a group action, perhaps. But let's see, what action do you guys think this would be?
Oh, where's my thing?
I
I
feel
think
like
it would
we're
be sway.
bluffing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're trying to deceive them. Be like, we're not doing anything.
Make them not suspicious
Yeah.
at all. So, would you like to lead the team in
do.
maintaining their cool?
I guess so.
So, how do you do that? How do you direct the rest of the team?
Take your habit off. Your habit's already off. Don't say anything.
I'm gonna say so much.
Don't look at anyone.
Do my best.
Me and Kevin were both looking at the floor.
No, we're like already having a staring
ghost
contest.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, ghost shit. Okay, excellent. Yes.
Is that more of a command role then? No, I'm kidding.
No. So
one's
that's
the
you
command
leading
role.
a group action. You're giving people advice on how to do that. Each PC who's involved makes an action roll using the same action. The team counts the single best result as the overall effort for everyone who rolled. However, the character leading the group action takes 1 stress for each PC that rolls a 1 to 3 as their best
We just
result.
gotta
Okay.
roll good.
So it's up to 3 stress that you're taking, but it might not be any.
Okay.
So, and you are included in this. So everybody roll your sway.
How many dice?
You roll 2 and take the best.
Yeah, however
That's
many
basically-
dice
Let's
you
roll
roll.
2 and
two,
take the worst.
And each person rolls what they have.
I rolled a 6 and a 1.
I rolled a 1 6. I
Two.
rolled a 4 and a 1.
So do you have 0?
I have 0.
Okay, so that's 1 failure, 2 failures,
2.
3 failures.
I rolled a 5 and a 6.
Okay, so
a 6.
You get a complete success on this roll, but you
But
take 3 stress.
3 stress.
Because you are constantly like, no, don't, Kev,
I'm
stop
sitting there
staring down the
trying to
blue
make
coat.
conversation with someone. I'm sitting there like, hey, how's it going? You know, like, shut up. They're like, oh, can I have some of that? Some of the people partying on boats.
But you manage to convince them all. It's like you're like whisper yelling right until the blue coats come around the corner, and then everybody's just going normally for the perfect amount of time. And the blue coats look over, and they just watch you go by, and then they continue on. And then you just let out this sigh of relief, the sweat beating on your forehead.
I'd give him like a little wink. Like a little, what's
like
up?
a
Like, hey.
So I will let you know that these are not. They are like the cops, but they are also known as the meanest gang in the city.
The blue coats?
The blue coats are brutal and corrupt.
I'll take my wink back. Thank you very much.
Yeah, mostly you just want to keep your head down because they're a very powerful game because they claim the entire city as their turf. But you have not ticked any sections on the blue coat alert clock
Nice.
that I have.
Let's go.
So you're doing well. You pass by this blue coat patrol without incident, and then you see the glowing sign for the Precious Palace. There are red tinted bulbs glowing around a sign where it is written in flowing script in glittering gold ink. But you know that your entrance is around the back, and so you actually take a turn, do another turn around the city block and come up to the back of that building where there is no fancy sign. There are just a few large archways leading onto this kind of platform, and then there's a sliding door that will rise up, like a garage door, basically, into the warehouse. And you kind of pull up and dock your boat there, and you have your 4 crates full of cutters. The garage door rolls up, and an Aruvian man steps out of it. Oh, where is Ishkasa? Normally it is Ishkasa. I have not seen you before.
He was sick today, and so he asked us, his friends, to take the shipment in for him.
All right, go ahead and roll sway. And you are in a controlled position, and this will be for a standard effect.
Oh.
3.
3.
Wait, can't you, like...
You can push yourself for
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
for one more die. So you would take 2 stress and then
Okay.
roll another die.
Okay. We gotta stop.
We're not messing around. This is it.
This is it.
Oh,
4.
4.
That's better.
Success, though.
That is better.
4 is a partial success.
Okay.
So
It's better than a fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to downgrade your standing from controlled to risky, as you have
okay.
kind of tipped this man, Puran, the receiver. You have kind of tipped him off, and he's a little suspicious. He says, Ishkasa is never sick. Strange.
I'll lay out the
Okay.
papers. We have the proper documents. He made sure to give us them before we went off.
It is also strange that he would work with so many Akarosi, but I suppose. And so I'm just going to tick 1 on the palace alert clock. He kind of pushes the garage door open the rest of the way and says, very well, bring it. I will show you where you can put. You get it. You have like a gangplank that he sets off. That's a pretty sturdy thing that you can put, and you have your boat is not so small that it's swaying with every step that a person takes or anything like that. It's a cargo boat. It's designed for this. You have to balance the cargo on it, but it's not so bad that when you take the cargo off, it's going to worry about dumping you into the canal.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys are able to start bringing those in. And you see that as you come in, there's kind of a lower area where there is cargo. There are barrels and crates. And then you see off a ways, there's kind of a 5-foot raised platform that kind of goes deeper in. And there's like a railing around it that's kind of like overlooks the storage floor. And sitting around a table, there are 3 red sashes who are throwing dice.
Hope it's not the same ones as last time.
Or actually, they're probably playing cards. But no, these would not be the same. Okay. These are a few red sashes who are commissioned to work here as security.
Gotcha.
So 3 red sashes at the table plus the one that let us in?
The guy who let you in does not appear to be a red sash.
Okay.
He's not carrying a sword.
Okay.
He's just the receiver. He's the guy who handles things, the shipments around here. As you are walking in, you see Puran kind of shows you a place where you can set them up, an empty space within some like lines drawn on the floor. And you're realizing that each group of you has 2 trips to move these in. And then after that, you're going to be expected to leave. So you're going to have to pull something to move forward. You see that up on this platform behind the red sashes, there does appear to be a door.
Can I ask to use a bathroom?
You can try. Yeah.
Hey, can we it's fun. It was a long trip over here. You think we could, use a bathroom before we head out?
And what action are you using to try and...
consort or sway, I guess.
Consort is usually with people you already have a rapport with.
Yeah,
This
definitely
would probably
not.
be Sway.
All right.
So go ahead and roll
Fuck it.
Sway. You are in a risky position, and this will have standard effect.
I got a 3. I can push myself for one more die.
Yes.
I'm gonna do that. 2 stress.
I am going to, we're still learning this game, but I'm going to say that in the future now, if you would like to push yourself, you can do so on any action roll. Please do that before you roll.
Before? Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's
Can I do it now or no?
Yes. So what we're just going to re-roll because now I've told you that. You have to decide you want to push yourself before.
I'm gonna
So
decide
now
push
you're just
myself.
rolling one die,
more
right?
die, okay.
And that'll be your result.
Fuck. 1.
Okay.
All right.
Never mind then. I already
have
got
a
the
really
matches in
stupid
the
idea.
wheel.
You say this before every one of your ideas.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the idea?
The idea is I have trick cards and they're playing cards, and I can go create rapport
go-
with them and just like beat them at whatever game they're playing.
Oh, that's good. That's
Join
good.
them and play.
Yeah, exactly. And then they'll like be like, "Hey, you can chill with us for a while." And I'm
That's a
like,
good idea.
"Sick."
I'll just start pouring.
That's my stupid idea.
What's the play here? We're trying to get the crates up the
We
stairs,
need to get the
right?
crates upstairs into the door to the main floor.
It's gonna
and
be really
and they're
hard.
stopping us?
Yeah, they're saying,
Well,
time to
this
go.
is the area where you deliver crates. You need to get the guys up the stairs.
There are people.
Got it.
You just need to clear the way so that you can get those guys up there.
Yeah.
How many
Whether
are
that's
playing cards?
somehow talking these crates up onto the floor, the main floor, which doesn't really make it much sense,
Yeah.
or it's somehow getting rid of these guys.
And how many are playing cards, did you say?
3 red sashes.
We can take them.
But as a result of your failed sway,
I'm like trying to clear the way up.
I'm going to say that you kind of didn't really come up with this idea or didn't
Yeah.
put it into play until you have all the crates kind of in this area where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And Puran is kind of expectantly waiting for you to leave. And so I'm going to shift your guys' position into desperate. It's not necessarily like you're not in the middle of combat or anything.
Yeah.
But basically you're going to have to pull something off right now or everything's going to go wrong.
3 Aruvians playing cards plus the guy who met us with the shipment, making 4 in total.
Yes.
Okay.
Plan, you go up to the table while we're talking to Puran, and you're like, "Oh, can I play cards with you?" And you just go, and then we take care of Puran.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kavlov,
You kind of
Kavlov
whisper-
is like
I also can
he's
have
checking the
transpire.
boxes, but he's kind of making his way behind. What's his name?
Puran.
Puran. Yeah.
Puran.
Kavlov's kind of making his way behind Puran.
Okay. So I imagine that you kind of strategize as the groups of you are kind of passing each other, putting these boxes away.
She whispered to me. Haha, get it?
Okay.
I said, I think I can slide right
So
in there.
who's doing what?
I assume me and Tony are trying to talk to Puran,
Yeah.
not effectively, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?"
You don't have to roll an action roll
Yeah,
to
yeah.
vaguely keep his attention for a moment.
I can also
he's
have
like on the
transpire
edge of telling you to fuck off.
and put him also in a trance. While she gets the other 3, we can get this guy with the trance powder.
Well, Kavlov's walking behind Puran, and then she's gonna go get the 3 guys.
It would be better if you got him though, because we get negatives for having to
Yes.
Kill
yeah.
people. Yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah,
especially,
yeah.
bro, yeah, especially if like the death people come to get the dead, and then they're like, "Why is there a dead person in here?" And we
We won't
it's
throw him in the
not gonna be
river.
good.
The spirit wardens.
Yeah, the dead people. the death
Yeah,
So
I'll
that's the
try to
best
do
plan.
that.
Good
Yeah,
plan.
and then you get the other 3.
Yeah, and then, of course, that sounds brilliant. Okay.
Okay.
Marked trans powder off my inventory.
Okay. And you've divided, how many uses do you get?
It just says trans powder, and it
Okay,
says
so
that
you
I
get
always
one use.
have it.
Does somebody else have
I have
transpowder?
trance powder. I can have 3 uses, so maybe I should go over there and you stay with him.
Yeah, you checked that off. That's part of your bandolier,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I can get 3 uses of it.
That's sick.
So you just get one, but
Yeah.
as
I'll
the
go
leech.
over to the people playing cards. You get him. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Kavla, want to come with me just in case something happens? Because we can
Well,
take
who's
one
doing
dude.
what? What
What,
do you
Okay.
do?
what if I toss you?
Oh, yeah. Fuck it.
Okay, is that what
Into
you're
the
doing?
middle?
Yep.
I think
throw
so.
me.
Okay, so you both walk over kind of next to that platform, and then you just kind of give her like
Just a little, like, yeah.
platform and then toss her up over the railing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Cheerleader
trying to
jump.
get her like so
Gonna
she can
Batman
get
this.
as close. as close to the three of them as possible.
And then you just get that guy.
We're like trying to talk to Prawn and we're looking past him.
And I'd be like, I just need your signature right here. Can you sign here on the X?
And then you are trying to vault that railing and then just rush these red sashes and blow transpowder in their face?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. What I'm going to say that you giving that toss is kind of a given because you're just a big dude.
You can do it.
But Tony, what action are you using to get close enough to perform this action?
Would this be Prowl because it's moving? I have like no dots, but
Prowl would be to get close quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I would allow that. Absolutely.
All right.
It could be something else.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll Prowl.
Guys, should I try to push myself for this?
What are you
Knock him
at?
out?
I think so. I think this
so.
is a very
This
key.
is vital.
I'm gonna push myself.
Okay.
Take 2 more stress. This will be the last
How
one.
many dice do you have in Prowl?
I have 0. So that would be
Okay, so now
just
you
roll 1.
upgrade to 1. Yeah. And you are in a desperate position. I will
So I'll take
give
XP for those guys.
I will give a standard effect. Yeah. Whoever rolled for that last one was also in a... Oh, no, we dropped to a desperate position.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
You ready? 4. It worked.
Okay.
4.
Success.
Okay.
This is good. This is good.
Partially successful.
This is good.
As you're kind of approaching and Kavlov is standing there, you see that they're getting a little suspicious, and one of them actually stands up slowly from their chair looking at you. And then Kavlov, you just launch Tony. She kind of tups over the railing and then opens up a handful of transpowder, and all 3 uses just across, and it fills all of their faces, but the one of them who caught that strange movement and was aware is able to draw his sword and plunge it into your side.
Oh, not again.
And
I'm gonna die.
and you are going to take level 3 harm.
She's dead.
No, level 4 harm is insta death.
Oh, okay. I'm already at level 2.
You are going to take level 3 harm impaled, unless you would like to resist it.
I'd like to resist it.
Okay, so go ahead and roll. This would be prowess as a resistance
That's
roll.
however many shields I have.
However many actions
Dots.
you have a dot in.
Okay,
Yeah,
I have
so
1.
just 1. So roll 1.
5.
Oh. So you take 1 stress and reduce that level 3 harm to a level 2 harm, which is cut ribs. Oh, now let's have the other ones
So
of you.
brutal.
You are talking to Puron with
Yeah.
your transpowder. What action are you using?
I'm gonna use sway and lie to him. No shocker. I'm gonna go. I just need you to sign here and here to get him to come close to me.
And then you just like take the paper off the top and
Yep.
nice.
That's good.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll sway.
6.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, so that was a desperate position for standard effect.
Oh, so do I
XP
mark
for
that
blood.
XP?
So XP, and you kind of pull this off
You mark it in
simultaneously,
There.
and maybe even
Oh.
maybe Spark even closes the garage door behind you, so
Yeah,
nobody
Spark.
else is gonna come by on the
She said nobody
canal and
gets out
see
of
this. And you guys have kind of cleared this bottom warehouse
We did
area.
it. I'm like, ah! But so all of them are passed out though.
And yeah, you successfully blew transpowder in all of their faces.
Fantastic. I'm just like I'm like clutching my ribs and my arm. I'm
Yeah, you
so
have a
hurt.
bad
I'll
couple
run
of
up
wounds.
and comfort her, but how long does trans powder last?
You're not sure.
Great.
I could kill them.
The last time we did kill them,
I'm like, I did it, guys.
Can I say that I brought some climbing gear, but instead of having like the hook, we have like the rope from the climbing gear, and we can like tie these guys up.
Yeah, let me read
I say
to you
we put them
what-
in the crates that we have the guys currently
Yeah.
in, and we just lock them.
Oh, we should tie them
we
up.
should go get
too.
our friends
Tie them
out.
up. Yeah.
Tie 'em up.
Get the guys out, and then put these guys in.
I will say that you can just use your large coil of rope and tie everyone up
Okay.
and still have a small coil of rope.
Okay.
Cool.
Could I just start like prying open the boxes, letting out
getting
the
them out?
cutters? Yep.
Yes.
Can I check that door?
Yes, you can.
Is it
You
locked?
come across that door, and I am going to say that we have dropped back down to a risky position,
Yeah.
or we've
Sweet.
raised back up. We have a better position now.
Yes.
We're no longer desperate because you've taken care of all the immediate threats here, but now you're in a room with where you're not supposed to be, and all the people who are supposed to be here are unconscious and in boxes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they're
Or
fine.
are about to be.
Yep.
So yeah, you go up to this door and you see that it is a locked iron door, and inside is a stairway that appears to lead up to the main floor.
Cool. Do any of the guys that we knocked out have keys on them?
I'm going to roll a fortune roll for that because I didn't.
Not, I'm getting in there. But
I didn't decide that beforehand, but it seems partially likely that they would have a key to access that, or that somebody from above would have to come down and let them in, and that's why they're pulling security.
Yep.
So I am going to roll 2d6 because I think it's more likely that there would be a key down here. 6. Yeah.
Sick.
All
I
right.
take the keys
So
and I
yeah,
unlock the door.
Puran has keys to that door.
Yep.
And actually, you probably find another set of keys on one of the red sashes. So you have two keys.
Nice.
Save that for a
Rainy
future
day.
adventure.
Do they have anything else in their pockets?
They probably have a few silver slugs that you pocket, but
Yeah.
again, you know, we're not tracking the gold piece
Pocket
in this
money.
game.
Down payment on the boat, baby.
We can just say I empty their pockets, I take their money. You know, there are Eruvian red sash blades here.
Ooh. You want
you
one
know.
of those?
They're kind of cool. But I feel like if I take one, that'll push me to a heavy load.
yeah,
So
you're right.
I'll leave it.
Yeah,
Can
good
we put
idea,
it on
good
the
idea.
boat?
Yeah.
We take their stuff.
They
And we
naked
put them
now.
Yeah.
they're naked and they're in boxes.
Tied up.
And I assume once we get them through the door, that's as much as we do.
And then we also the getaway van.
Yeah, so you pop these guys out of their crates, correct?
Yes.
And
back.
Crick Bellwether, who is this kind of short guy, and he has these horns on his head. He also has kind of a big knotty scar on his head that the hair doesn't grow on anymore. So it's all shaved down to stubble. And he kind of looks around and sees the unconscious people that you're loading into the crates. And he says, "Great work, great work.
Thanks.
Big fella.
Yeah.
I am almost certain that I can talk Bazo Baz into providing another coin to pad your pockets
Oh,
if you
yeah.
join us in the bloodshed. And that invitation's open to the rest of you too. But
Zach just gave the biggest smile.
He did.
Thanks for the offer. Of course.
all right.
You know, see Kavlov, he pulls out a very big sledgehammer.
Yes.
Like a sledgehammer, but like with the proportion of like the head of like a mallet. So
this is a big
This is a big
sledgehammer.
sledgehammer.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And this is going to be his fine heavy weapon.
Ooh. And you get to choose fine
How
heavy.
did you hide that on the
Yes,
way in?
fine heavy.
Thanks, you
Where did you pull that
yeah.
out of?
Kavlov
yeah, and
clenching.
Is that
Clenching.
I mean, I imagine that's probably been like strapped to his back with the handle up
Yeah.
behind his head.
Yeah.
It's just, he has a normal load, so people can tell he has stuff on him. But
Also,
it's
it's
has
got
a
a
big
cloak
coat
with a
with a
hood on,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
its
yeah.
like red hair
covers
runs down.
and that's with one streak of white.
Yes, it does.
And
Oh, sweet.
is that 2 load for that?
That is 2 load. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and check that off as you confirm that you have that weapon. Any other takers?
Oh, whoa, what would you have us do?
I'm not
Just fuck
allowing
shit
you.
up?
I'm not allowing you.
I will set this whole place on fire right now. I will do it.
You have a bleeding rib.
I'm fine.
This place isn't the
fine.
target. The red sashes are.
Okay.
We're here to kill people.
What about you, Whisper?
I'm not much of a fighter. I could stay back and help, but if it
If you
gets tough, I'll
if
have
you
to.
cover us, you want to come with us and cover us?
I could do that.
There's going to be a lot of people that maybe aren't threats up there. We don't have to kill them, but maybe you can cover our rear, and any unsuspecting heroes you can take care of for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then maybe you guys stay back just in case
You guys man
any
the
blue
boot.
coats.
The boot.
The
We'll
what?
take the
Are you
boot.
making fun of my accent?
Never.
Are you
That's just how I say boot too.
We're turning this into a sitcom.
The laugh track. Okay, we're gonna go now.
Hold on a second.
This is one of those
I'm
moments where
marking. I'm gonna create. He's not a faction, but I'm making a note.
he doesn't like us.
I'm making a note. Yagoda has -1 rep
Oh, great.
with Craig.
You should make a progress clock. How many times she can say
Yeah.
something before he like
Oh
tries
yeah,
to
no,
like.
you know what? That's a great idea. I'm going to create a progress clock called Crick's Nerves.
How long does it take till we piss this guy off?
And it's only a 4 o'clock.
It's a 4 o'clock. It's a 1 o'clock, and you've ticked.
It's a 4 o'clock, that's 1 tick.
Great.
All right. You kind of use that key that you found to quietly unlock that door up to the stairs. You open it and you hear the sounds of...
Smell the smells.
Yeah, you hear the sounds and smell the smells of raucous partying
Yeah.
on the next
Going to
floor
Vegas.
up. And we are going to jump into that as Kavlov and Spark move up at the rear of this group of lamp-black cutters. Tony and Yagoda, the sisters Stanchik, are left to their own devices in this warehouse at the bottom of an Eruvian pleasure house. You mentioned that you maybe wanted to take some of the good stuff.
Oh, there's probably some good shit down here, right? Yeah.
They probably don't do all things on the up and up, but even things on the up and up like Eruvian wine and
Oh, we're definitely
stuff
taking
like
some of
that.
the luxury shit. They have
yeah.
plants here.
So what action are you using to make sure that you get the best of the best?
you want to grab stuff? Can I?
You're both going to have to work together to carry stuff out to the boat.
Okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
Can I assist her in her study action? By
Absolutely. So take 1 stress,
That's okay.
and then you will roll your study plus 1 extra die.
Okay. So my study is 2. So I'd roll 2, but I'm -1, but I'm back up 1.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, because you're -1 because you have 2 level 2.
2
harm.
ones.
Oh, that's because you didn't roll it. You just dropped it like an animal.
I think you should re-roll
An
it.
animal. No.
Yeah, that wasn't
I know,
It counts. I take it.
All right. Yeah.
We grabbed
so
some shit.
You were in a risky position for standard effect.
Ghost.
It's the same
I'm
guy.
going to.
Oh my god, he's just following
I'm going
us.
to tick 2 on the blue coat alert clock.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
As you are loading up what is unfortunately not very good stuff.
Damn. Well, we tried.
You try
the
to
stuff.
find the best, but you kind of like, this will be good, I guess. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because you also don't know how much time you're going to have to do this. Because as soon as this group goes up the stairs, you hear stuff starting to get crazy up there. Very muffled through that door, but things immediately go wild. Yeah. It's kind of a how many seconds will it be before the first gunshot is fired type deal. But as you are carrying out a crate, there is a blue coat patrol that goes by on the canal. And there's just kind of an awkward moment where like maybe you set it down and you're like, hey, you just wave, lean on it, and it just piques their suspicion a little bit. That's a 6 o'clock though, so you're not right on the edge.
Good.
But you have kind of piqued the blue coat's interest, and if something were to continue to get their attention,
like a
Like a bunch of
infiltration,
gunshots.
like a bunch of perfect. Okay.
And then we just walk back in and we don't take anything else. We're like, with everything going upstairs, we probably don't want them coming in here.
I think you should set it on fire.
yeah, and that is kind of what you guys are going to be doing
Yeah.
during the raid, basically. Kavlov and Spark, you're following kind of at the tail end of this group of cutters as they creep up the stairs, and you find yourselves in a hallway. You can hear the sounds of debauchery, laughter, and the clinking of glasses and talking. But immediately as you come up these stairs, you find yourself in a small back hallway that is fairly dark, and you can see out in front of you what seems to be a large open chamber where there are people partying, and then there is a doorway off to the left and a closed door off to the right. And as you're kind of creeping up these stairs, you ever so slightly hear Crick making, calls and giving orders. You hear him say,
"Kitchen left."
One of them moves up and peeks around the corner, and you see that these Lampblacks, they have knives and clubs, and a decent number of them have crossbows, and a few of them have pistols tucked into their waistband. You see somebody come out of one of the doors to the right that looks like a washroom of some kind, and you see one of the crossbows get raised, but then you see Crick kind of reach out and put the crossbow down as the person is not immediately facing them, and he just steals up behind and puts a hand over the throat and drives a knife through the back and just wrenches across the spine.
Yeah.
And
so cool.
drops this.
Campbell is so turned on right now.
This red sash who is coming out of the loo. And then he walks up to that doorway and he says,
"All right, lads. Target-rich environment. Use the crossbows as long as you can. First volley. Go."
and you see that three of them walk up with crossbows and into this room full of people partying, just having a good time. Crossbow bolts go out almost silently, and then they pull back, and they start kind of reloading, cranking their crossbows and loading new bolts. And it's not until the second group is out and loosing crossbow bolts that there start to be screams.
Yeah.
And people kind of becoming aware of what's happening. And the first group manages to reload and get a third volley in before there are people kind of realizing what's happening and drawing swords. And then you hear Crick call out,
"All right, hand to hand, go."
And they all just kind of rush out into this common room. And as there's this group of Lampblacks who are not matching what the Eruvians are wearing, you kind of follow them out into this room, and you see that there are Eruvian men and women drinking wine and smoking hookahs, and there are some pipes and the stench and haze of smoke and opiates and alcohol is in the air. You see that until a moment ago, there were these kind of platforms where men and women who are covered in this glittering gold paint were dancing. And this scene of debauchery and partying has now turned into a scene of horror as you see half a dozen or more people have crossbow bolts sticking out of them. Some of them are just immediately dead. Others are reaching for their swords and trying to get it together. And you see the Lampblacks just spread out and run into this chaos, targeting the people that they view as threats. And this is just a slaughter at this point. What do you do?
Watch my back, Spark. I'm going to make sure our paycheck doesn't get killed.
Gotcha.
I'm going to basically just be following behind Crick as much as possible. Anytime he gets up and close with somebody and maybe caught off guard by somebody else, I'm just watching his back and making sure he stays alive.
Sure.
For the most part.
Crick moves up, and he is doing most of his work with these two dirks, which is these kind of long double-bladed daggers, and he is just wrecking people as he goes up. He's even going up against swordsmen who have their swords out and are at least ready for him, and he's still dismantling them. But there is a point where you see that a couple of them managed at the far end of the room managed to kind of get their wits enough together, and you see that there is a group of 3 swordsmen kind of moving forward in formation, ready to deal some damage, and you and Crick are caught, not immediately backed up by other Lampblacks. What do you do?
Are they all coming from the same side?
Yeah, they're moving together, and they have kind of picked out you guys, and they're coming to meet you.
Kavlov is going to try to get one or two of them to break formation.
Okay, so he's going to try and flank with...
Yes.
Kind of split up and flank. Yeah, and then fight them, correct?
Yes. Yep.
What action are you thinking to use for this?
Skirmish.
Go ahead and roll skirmish. What do you have in skirmish?
2.
2. You can roll 2, or you can push yourself, take 2 stress, and roll 3 instead. Mm-hmm. Or Spark, is there anything that you would like to do, or are you just kind of staying back and watching the chaos unfold?
I am following behind them, so they're also coming towards me as well. But I'm also, I can see them in the peripheral, but I'm facing more towards where we are leaving to see if anyone's following. And if anyone is, then she will do something about it. Because she kind of trusts you guys to kind of clear what's in front, and she'll clear anyone who's in back.
Yeah, I'm going to roll a fortune roll to see if any of them have gotten their wits about them to try and go for this leadership group. I think it's unlikely, so I'm actually going to roll 2 and take the lower for a fortune roll. Oh, that's a 4. So you do see that somebody not armed with a sword, but armed with just a kind of dining knife has seen the big form of Kavlov and the intimidating form, if smaller, of Crick, and is trying to sneak up behind them. Mm-hmm. So you are skirmishing, and what are you doing to that person?
I think she's gonna have like I don't want to say stick, but maybe like a baton.
Like a club?
Yeah.
Like a...
and then she's probably gonna
cudgel.
Knock him out. Instead of kill, she's gonna try to knock him out.
Okay, so you're not exactly hidden, so you would be engaging with combat with this person as they were approaching. So
skirmish as well?
Yeah, so both of you guys roll skirmish. And you may push yourselves if you want, but you have to do that before you roll.
Right.
And that's 2 stress for pushing
What
yourself.
position are we in?
You are in a risky position for standard effect.
Okay, am I taking on currently 2?
Oh, you are
2 people?
taking on 2. So you are in a risky position for limited effect.
Okay. I'm actually going to expend my special armor to push myself.
Okay. And do you want to take an extra die or raise your effect level back up to standard?
Back up to standard effect.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead.
That'll be my special armor.
That'll be your special armor as a cutter.
Oh, that was a 3.
That's a 5 for Kavlov.
Okay.
You got 1.
So that is a failure from Spark. I think what that means is you are not the major threat, and you are not this person's focus.
Can I get stabbed instead? I'm so sorry.
Welcome to the party, stabbing party.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tick 2 on the palace alert.
That's fair. That is fair.
And especially because this is all happening, I'm going to also say that you only suffer... normally, it would be if you're in a risky position, you suffer 2 harm, a level 2 harm. But I'm just going to give you the level 1 harm sliced.
Okay.
As you kind of try to interpose yourself, and you just kind of get a cut across one cheek and are pushed out of the way as this person is moving towards the big people in front of you. You got a 5, which means you are going to take a consequence as well. I'm going to say that that's another tick on the palace alert clock.
That's fair.
And you are also going to take the level 1 harm sliced as you are kind of cut along one shoulder by one of these, a thrust from one of these swords as these people come at you. But what is your goal? How are you fighting?
Yeah, I think Kavlov is seeing red right now and trying to push them back away from Crick and finish the job. Like he's trying to overpower the enemy.
And I think that is a difference between you and Crick Bellwether, because I think that as Crick and this Red Sash, they're kind of dancing back and forth, they're testing each other's limits, but no one's really committed to like an overt blow yet. You confront the other two and you swing your big hammer and you overextend and you thump into the chest of one of these Red Sashes. The other lunges and cuts you across the arm, and you take that level 1 harm, but you see as you bang this massive hammerhead into the chest of another one, you see him just kind of stumble backwards and sit into a chair, and you see him drop one sword as he's just kind of looking down at this impression in his chest as he's going, and you think that you've either cracked that dude's sternum or broken several ribs, or maybe both.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens when you swing a 10-pound sledgehammer. So now it's back to a 2-on-2, except that you have somebody coming up from behind. What do you do?
I think in this position, no one's fired a gun yet, right?
No one has fired a gun yet, no.
So no one's fired a gun yet. I think what she's gonna do is she is gonna wait till someone starts making a lot of noise before she also makes a lot of noise.
I mean, until there are gunshots or somebody gets thrown through a window screaming, you're not gonna have to worry about people outside hearing, but at this point, all of the palace is alerted. So it's up to you what you decide to do.
I'm gonna take another swing, except swing really hard at his head, and hopefully that kind of throws him off.
Okay, yeah, he hasn't completely ignored you. He's trying to move past you, but as he sees you swing, he is going to turn and try and combat that. So go ahead and roll skirmish again. Would you like to push yourself?
Yes, actually.
Okay, so go ahead and take 2 stress, and you're rolling, 3 dice now?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that's a 5. I'll take it.
Oh, that's good.
Alrighty.
That's good. I just saw the 1 and 3.
I know,
And
I
then
saw
I couldn't
the
tell
one.
what the
And what is your goal in this encounter?
My goal is to knock him the fuck out. And I've been in enough fights to know that, like, how hard I need to hit. So I'm trying to get him, like, right on the side of the jaw or, like, in the neck.
Yeah, I'll actually say that it's not even him, but we're still in a risky position, and this is for standard effect. You just like swing out and you have a longer reach than this butter knife, and you just crack this guy upside the temple, and you see his head just like flip to the side, and then he drops like a sack of bricks.
Nice.
But you're like, alrighty then. And then you just get smashed in the back of the head from nowhere with probably already a cracked glass or something, and you feel like several cuts along the side of your face and the back of your head start to bleed. So you take that level 2 cut up, as there is just a mad brawl happening right here.
Sounds like it hurts.
You still have these 2 guys in front of you, but you also notice as there is the sound of one of the Lampblacks screaming as he is kicked down the stairs, and actually you see him land and then get covered in a splatter of his own blood. As walking down the stairs, there is a naked woman holding a scimitar, and she looks around and says, "Now what the fuck is going on here?" And you see Crick just kind of use this distraction to cut the femoral artery of the guy that he's fighting. And as that guy is just kind of like clutching his leg and falling to the ground, he says,
"Shit, that's Isha Arkaya. She's a scion of a noble family and a hell of a sword fighter, if what I've heard is true. That's gonna be our biggest problem.
We take her together.
I think we, as in all of us, take her together."
You just kind of like dodge out of the way of a hit and crack the kneecap of the guy next to you, as basically all of the focus has turned onto her, as she is a master swordswoman, and you are tier 0. She's probably like tier 5.
Oh my fucking god.
Everybody basically sees this, and the chaos of this main room is kind of winding down. And so basically what it is as a few fringe fights are caught up, all of the Lampblacks basically focus their attention on this master swordswoman, and you all start moving together. She just jumps into combat. What do you do?
Would this be an appropriate moment to lead a group action?
Who are you leading?
The Lampblacks.
What action would you be leading? Because Crick is their leader, but if you want to kind of inspire them to do something?
Kavlov, having served in the military before, is aware of like basic battlefield tactics and maneuvers. Kavlov wants to group the Lampblacks in a favorable formation that's defensive against someone that he's assuming is they're going to be outmatched by.
Yeah, and what action would this be?
Command.
Interesting, because leading a group action is a little bit different, because you tell me how you're leading a group action, and then you all roll that action. So that would be more like you're rolling skirmish, and then you're just commanding everybody. But that works for more scoundrels. But so this wouldn't be technically leading a group action, but absolutely you can try and command these Lampblacks to ditch the scoundrels kind of brawlers mindset and get into a more military mindset.
Yes.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll command. Would you like to push yourself?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
2 stress.
Go ahead and mark 2 stress.
That's a 5.
Okay.
That's a 5. Okay. You grab their attention and start kind of organizing them and ordering them to be, where they should be. But a few of them are caught up in the bloodlust and the fury. And you watch as 2 of the Lampblacks, one right after the other, but not close enough to make it a coordinated attack. They both charge Isha Arkaya and are just effortlessly cut down. It's like a single half step to one side and the flick of a blade, and then across to the other side, and both of them just kind of go tumbling to either side, spewing blood from vital arteries, without even having the chance to touch her. The only thing on Isha right now is blood.
Yes. That is hot.
That's hot.
But you managed to get the rest of them together. You're kind of giving these orders. What kind of formation are you looking to get them into? 1
died by her initially, and then 2 more died. So we're down to 5 Lampblacks plus the 2 of us.
Yes.
So meaning 7 in total.
That's just enough to give you an advantage at this point.
Yeah.
Because also the Lampblacks are tier 2, but these are not like the peak warriors of the Lampblacks.
Yeah.
So you still have an advantage, but it is a slim one.
Yeah, so I think we're sort of going to line up in a V formation with the bottom point of the V furthest away from her as she makes her way down. So there's kind of a spread out and spread forward of her, so she has to sort of walk into the cup of Lampblacks.
Yeah.
And Kavlov is going to be at that back center point.
Okay. What are you doing, Spark?
I'm watching to see if anyone's trying to join in the fight. Is anyone at this point trying to
Go ahead and roll another fortune roll. That's a 6, so no. Any potential combatants have either been taken care of or are fleeing.
I guess so. Yeah, I know. I think she's going to wait for a moment in time where she can possibly get some lightning off on her, and she's probably gonna try to catch her hair on fire.
Ooh. I mean, striking with lightning is definitely a thing.
Definitely nothing else that you can light on fire.
Yeah, I mean,
not
honestly, the ideal point to hit her with lightning is before she's in melee with the rest of the Lampblacks.
Yes.
So if you would like to go ahead and roll a 2 now.
Oh, that's so cool.
To pull something from the ghost field and send it at her.
Okay, I think I'm gonna push myself and then I'm gonna run because I'm very hurt.
You do what you got to do.
So that
Join
was
us. We're partying
You
downstairs.
do whisper things and then let the cutters cut.
Oh, very stressed out is what you mean.
I am very stressed
Do you have
out.
1 or 2 slots left?
I have 1.
With just
wow.
1 slot.
6. That's a 6.
Is that only 1 6?
Yeah, it's 1 6 and 2 5s.
Okay, yeah.
that's so
Because if you
good.
ever get 2 6s, that's
It's a crit.
critical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as this Isha Arkaya is about to kind of dart into melee, you reach up and paint the scene for me.
As you get everyone into like the V formation, she kind of sees that everyone's fleeing and like she's not doing so great. So she's thinking of like how to help you before she wants to get away. And she kind of sees that it's like a little ebb before the battle. And she kind of sees the moment and she reaches forward and she thinks about it for a moment and she reaches forward and you see her hands catch again in the air for a moment and you see her pull really hard, harder than before, and just slam her hand down and a crack of lightning from in nowhere, just in the air, just cracks on top of this
Just
woman.
directly above
Yes.
her, just a shot of lightning happens. Yeah.
That's so
and
sick.
that is going to tick.
loud.
That is going to fill 3 ticks on the Isha Vigor clock, which is her fighting ability, basically. Her vigor is how long she can be in this fight.
Okay.
And yeah, you've got everybody together, so they're in a better position. I would actually say that with 7-on-1, I think you've upgraded yourself. The success of that roll means that you are now in a controlled position.
All right.
Good.
And then you are kind of cutting and running back down the
I'm
stairs.
getting the fuck out of there.
All right.
Hey, welcome back.
So you escape before you take a trauma and are forced to kind of drop out of this score.
I think I'm gonna come back and then tell you that we're gonna need to go soon.
yeah,
So
and
get
we're
Look at all this stuff we put on the boat.
cool stuff we got.
Fuck is that?
I don't know, but
Well,
it's
that's
cool.
a dead rat. My bad.
Shoot, yeah.
I thought it was
That
cool.
is kind of gross. Okay,
All right,
anyway.
Toss it in the
Kavlov.
river.
So yeah, Kavlov standing there with his large hammer is going to look at this woman who just got roasted.
Yes.
Yeah, and you see her, she kind of reels back from that, and her hair is standing on end, and she has to pat some of it out as it goes on fire. And you see that like her, she kind of like loosens her grip for a little bit and realizes that her flesh that's holding the sword has been seared, but she just kind of looks at that wound and then kind of regrips the sword and like resets herself and commits to the fact that she has to fight. And yeah, she's not doing too hot, but she's very much not out of the fight yet.
All right,
She's not
so
doing too hot, but she's
What
still
do you
hot.
do?
She still looks hot. Yeah.
Oh, incredibly. She's literally smoking.
Literally.
Kavlov, he's gonna look at her and say, "Sorry, babe, nothing personal." And then he's going to pull out his rage essence vial.
Yes.
Can we have a flashback to Kavlov practicing by himself? He's like, sorry.
He's like a mirror. Trying to come up with a
Rage
one-liner.
Essence Vial, a single dose which greatly enhances the user's strength, resistance to pain, and irrational aggression for the span of several minutes. Okay.
Several minutes.
Several
You
minutes.
also suffer 2 consequences.
There's more floors.
Can't tell friend from foe, and can't stop until they're all broken. You may resist these as usual.
Okay.
So
Okay.
as you pop this rage essence, you find yourself growing with strength, and you feel this red cloud your vision, and you feel yourself start to view every living thing around you as something that needs to be smashed. And so we'll worry about can't stop until they're all broken once we've potentially achieved an objective. But would you like to resist can't tell friend from foe?
I would love to resist that. Yes.
So you are going to roll. This would be.
Is this rolling the stress?
This would be
resistance?
insight. So how many actions do you have? You have 0. Okay, so you're gonna roll 2d6 and take the worst. Take the lower.
You got this.
Absolutely.
You got this.
How many stress do you have available on your track?
6.
Okay,
he's
so
fine.
you're good. The max you take is 5. We'll see how well you do.
2.
2. So you're
Yeah.
going to take 4 stress.
I'm glad I got out of there.
Yeah.
So you can tell who the Lampblacks are, who your allies are. What do you think the Rage Essence looks like?
It's a inhaled vapor. I think it's a pop and almost a cartoonish smoke rises.
It's literally crimson smoke.
Yes, it is crimson smoke.
Oh my god, on brand.
And you just take that in, and everybody sees like your veins and muscles just kind of stand out, like you've just had the most insane pump. And, and then you just kind of look around at everyone, and then you just kind of focus back on Isha. What do you do?
Kavalov just charges straight for her.
Yes.
That sounds like skirmish to me. Is that a skirmish action?
Yeah, it does.
All right, go ahead and roll skirmish.
Awesome. I'm not going to take 2 stress.
Because that would fill your stress track, right?
Yeah. A 4.
I'm gonna make a fortune roll.
Okay.
Because if you were in a lone fight with Isha, she would immediately deal you level 4 harm and kill you.
Right.
But because you are backed up by Lampblacks, you have this rage essence, you're super strong. So let's see. You would have about -5 dice normally.
Right.
I'm going to drop 2 and consider you like tier 2 for the rage essence.
Yeah.
So you're basically now like a 2-tier fighter.
Okay.
For these few minutes.
Yep.
So you're at a -3. Then you have like 2 people on her. So that drops you to 0. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll 2 and take the lower. I'm just kind of playing this by ear with the way the rules go. But basically, I'm going to see if you happen to be the person that she does lethal harm to anyway. If we roll a 1 to 3, it's going to be you take level 4 harm.
Oh my god.
That you will have to resist or die.
Cool.
If I roll a 4 or 5, you're going to take level 3 harm, which you can resist if you so choose. And if I roll a 6, that means you're only going to take level 2 harm.
All right.
If I roll a crit, then you'll probably only take level 1 harm and get a bonus.
All right.
Okay, I rolled a 4.
Okay.
So you're going to take level 3 harm.
Cool.
Which is lacerated. So go ahead and write lacerated
Laceration gang.
in level 3 harm. But then you succeeded with a 4, so that's going to be 2 ticks. And because you have her outnumbered, even according to her tier, I'm going to tick another 2 ticks, which means that there is 1 tick left before you have overcome the obstacle of her vigor. So basically, what this looks like is you getting into this formation where she has to basically run down a corridor of steel before she gets to you, and you rage and charge, and all of the Lampblacks move with you, and she moves like the lightning that just struck her, and she is darting back and forth and avoiding blades and striking blows and still taking hits from cleavers and clubs, but pushing through it all and still up. And you take a serious flurry of cuts as you charge right up to her, but you manage to kind of clip one arm with your hammer, and you see after this initial thing, there's a bunch of Lampblacks that kind of step back, bloody and wounded, and you see her kind of step back and drop her sword from her right arm, which you see is kind of hanging limply, and then she leans down and picks up the sword with the left hand, and she is on her last legs.
Wow.
What do you do?
She hits you with the, I'm actually left-handed.
Yeah, exactly. Like Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Kavalov needs help.
Absolutely.
He's at a level 3 harm. So is he still? Like,
What is the consequence for level 3 harm?
Need help?
Oh, needs help. Yeah.
With the Rage Essence vial, like I don't feel the pain.
Yeah, I think that's the help you need. I think you have that resistance to pain.
You're fine.
And actually, I'm going to bump that to a level 2.
Yeah.
Because your Rage Essence takes that from a level 3 harm to a level 2 harm. So you're still going to write Lacerated in that level 2 harm.
Sure.
I will say that a lot of these Lampblacks are wounded, maybe fatally so, from this initial flurry as she just danced in between you and probably attacked more times on her own than all of you combined did. Just in that brief moment where you came into that. She's standing there looking around at the rest of you. What is it that you do?
I mean, Kavlov's kind of not even really in control of himself at this point. Like, as the Rage Essence Vial explains, like, the desire to just crush whatever is deemed an enemy is overpowering. So I think he re-engages.
You are going to be rolling skirmish then, I assume. And how many dice do you have in skirmish?
2.
2. It would be for less effect, but you already would have less effect because you're going up against somebody who's so much higher tier than you.
That's true, yeah.
I'm going to say that you are in a desperate position.
Yes.
And this would be for limited effect.
Okay.
You got this. You got this.
Kavlov dies today.
Oh my god. Oh, it's such a 3.
No!
He's gonna die anyway.
No, he's not. He's gonna get sick.
5.
Okay.
5. Okay.
Oh, but he suffers the consequence still.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
But you have a level 2 thing still. So you're
And a
okay.
level 3. But
Yeah.
Kavlov might not be here next mission. But
We can drag your body.
You see that at this point, Crick pulls out his double barrel sawed off, and as you are about to engage again, she gets blasted from the side with this shotgun round. And as you're charging to kind of finish the job, and you swing with this hammer, and as you're coming down with the blow that is going to crush her skull, she just staggers from being just shot with a shotgun and just reflexively pulls her sword tip up and drives it through your heart.
Oh,
And you are going to take level 4 harm.
Oh my god!
resist.
Impaled through the heart, unless you would like to resist.
I'd like to resist.
Okay.
Nah.
There's the potential that you still stay in this score. There's the potential that you drop out and take a trauma, but you will reduce this to level 3
Well,
harm.
at least be alive.
Is this resolve?
Yeah, this would be prowess. This is to move yourself in a way or fight in a way that avoids the blade in your heart.
6.
Yes!
Alrighty.
my God.
So you take no stress. You shift to the side at the last second, and instead of going through your heart, this blade goes through your shoulder. Mm-hmm. You're going to take level 3 harm, shredded shoulder. I'm not going to say that you kill her if that's not what you want to do, but describe how you finish off Isha Arkaya, the scion of a noble Eruvian house.
I think Kavlov was coming in for not an overhead strike, but a side strike, just going for the same kind of crush the lungs type of blow as normal. But as he got stabbed in the shoulder, he doesn't quite connect as he normally would and takes her legs out from under her. And she lives from this, but is immobile.
Ooh. Okay. From Kavlov's perspective is how I'm going to end this session. Well, actually, would you like to resist Can't Stop until they're all broken?
Yes.
You would like to resist that? There's a potential that you may take a trauma.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Because otherwise you're just gonna stay here and start slamming your hammer until there's nobody moving.
Which?
That would be resolve.
Okay. I also have 2 in that. 6.
Yes.
All right, you take no stress.
Oh my god.
You see that this Isha is defeated. Her legs are absolutely mangled in addition to all the other wounds that she's suffered. And you just kind of stand there and you feel kind of the last of the rage essence drain out of you, and you feel all that pain that you were ignoring come back, and you almost pass out standing up, and you feel yourself caught by Crick and the other Lampblacks, and you have just a fleeting, blurry image of this main room of the precious palace covered in blood and bodies, and then there's the stairs of you going down, and there's crates as you pass through the warehouse, and then there's the slapping of waves against the side of the boat, and there's the darkness of the sky above you. And our scoundrels cross back over the Dosk River into Crow's Foot, and there is a few admiring words spoken from Crick over the unconscious body of Kavlov about his skill with a hammer and his resolve to fight and to stop when it's needed to stop. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh my God.
Thank you for watching this episode of Canticle of the Crimson Wake. We hope you enjoyed it and thought it was as awesome as we did. And if you aren't aware, we have an after show we do where we will be talking about this, our thoughts, and probably just kind of freaking out a little bit, that you can check out on the Tabletop Sandbox Patreon, which will be linked in the show description. But thank you for listening, and good night, mortals.
Cue that music, baby.